This month is October. It's almost over. Grandma is really slow. You know the fun day we have in October when our family gets together? People dress up in funny clothes and masks. You know the name of that fun day. It's Halloween. What are you going to dress up and be for Halloween? Maybe a ghost? Let's sing a Halloween song. 3 little pumpkins sitting on a fence, a witch came riding by. Ha, 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 I'll take you all and make a pumpkin pie. Ha, ha! Wouldn't that be funny if a witch came by and got your jack-o'-lanterns and made a pumpkin pie out of them? I love pumpkin pie. Let's see. Here's a poem about leaves. Have you noticed the leaves are almost all gone? They turn all pretty colors. Come, little leaves, said the wind one day. Come over the meadows with me and play. Put on your dresses of red and gold, for summer is gone and the days grow cold. Soon as the leaves heard the wind's loud call, down they came fluttering, one and all. Over the brown fields they danced and flew, singing the glad little songs they knew. Dancing and whirling the little leaves went. Winter had called, and they were content. Soon, fast asleep in their earthy beds, the snow laid a coverlid over their heads. Well, that was a cute song about the leaves. I was out walking with Grandpa the other day, and the leaves had fallen off the trees, some yellow ones, and they were all dry and crisp, and I was walking on them. They would go crunch, 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 and I thought, this is just like walking on cornflakes. Isn't that a silly thing? You see if you can find some yellow leaves and make it sound like you're walking on cornflakes. Here's another song that we liked for Halloween. Let's see, where is it? Okay. Halloween's coming, Halloween's coming, skeletons will be after you. Witches, cats, and big black bats, ghosts and goblins too. Flap, flap, flap your arms. Flap, flap, flap go the big black bats. Ooh, meow, meow, meow go the ugly cats. Ooh, boo! These are witches' cats. They're not nice little cats like you have. These are big, mean, ugly cats. We sang about goblins in this song. Do you know what a goblin is? It's not a witch. It's not a ghost or a bat or a cat. What do you think a goblin looks like? I don't know. Why don't you draw a picture of what you think a goblin is? Here's a little poem about a girl whose brother dressed up like a ghost and was trying to scare her. She said, "My brother is inside that sheet that gave that awful shout. I know, because those are his feet, so brown and sticking out. And that's his head that waggles there, and his eyes peeking through. So I can laugh, and I'm not scared. Ha, I say, it's you." So she wasn't the least bit afraid, was she, about her brother trying to scare her? Well, let's see. What else do we know about Halloween? Here's one called "A Goblin Lives in Our House." A goblin lives in our house, in our house, in our house. A goblin lives in our house all year round. He bumps and he jumps and he stumps and he thumps. He knocks and he rocks and he rattles at the locks. A goblin lives in our house, in our house, in our house. A goblin lives in our house all year long. don't you think this is just some little brother or little sister that makes all the funny noises that we hear about around our house? Oh, I like this poem about the moon looking like a jack-o'-lantern. The moon is round as a jack-o'-lantern. The trees blow black and bare, and we go creeping with spooky giggles through the cold, ghostly air. Whose shadow is that on the haunted ground? Who's hiding behind that tree? Look! Around the tree comes my little black cat, and the shadow is only me. Sometimes we scare ourselves, don't we? And just getting outside when it's scary, we get frightened of little things that we shouldn't even have to worry about. Okay, I know another song. This one is called Halloween's Coming. Let me see. Witches sailing through the sky on their broomsticks way up high. Black cats howl as they go by, for this is Halloween. Then we go really scary. Ooh, this is Halloween. Ooh, this is Halloween. Boo! That almost scared Grandpa when I did that. I know another one, too, about when you're out kind of afraid in the night and you think at Halloween there's a witch. But we used to sing this song in primary. I bet you've never, ever sung this song in your primary. It's called There's No Such Thing as a Witch. And this was even printed in the Friend magazine, only we used to call it many years ago the Children's Friend. And we would read it and look at all the pictures and color and do fun things and hear the stories. But this song was in one of our primary, in one of the Friends, and we would sing it during primary time. When you're all alone in the country and the night is dark as pitch, just be bold, 'cause you've been told there's no such thing as a witch. When the noisy wind is howling and your ears are all a-twitch, laugh ho ho, because you know there's no such thing as a witch. Skeletons and goblins are only make-believe. Folks dressed up in costumes just try to scare you. Ooh. When you hear the thunder and lightning and you're hiding in a ditch, don't cry out. Without a doubt, there's no such thing as a witch. Ooh. I bet if you'd ask your primary song leader to sing that for you, she'd have a heart attack. Wonder what on earth are they asking me to do? I wonder. I was going to tell you how to make some pretty leaf pictures, but I don't know if you can. You'll need waxed paper, not plastic paper like Saran wrap and that plastic wrap. Maybe your mother or dad can find some waxed paper that we used to we used to wrap our sandwiches up in waxed paper because there was no such thing as plastic wrap. The only trouble is sometimes it wouldn't stay tight. But if you can find some really pretty colored leaves and you want them to be flat, maybe you'll have to press them first and then tear off a piece of wax paper, about the size of regular paper, and then lay your pretty leaves on the waxed paper on the waxed side. Your mom will know what I'm talking about. Then you could get some pretty colored thread and lay it around. You could even get some little sparkly things and sprinkle around. make it pretty. Then you get another sheet of wax paper the same size, and you put the waxed side down on the leaves and lay it down, and then your mother will get a nice warm iron, not hot. You don't want to set the house on fire, just warm, and she'll iron over the top of the leaves that are in the middle of the two waxed paper sheets. And you wax that, and the wax will melt, and it will make the prettiest picture. And you can trim it up so it's nice and pretty. Then you hang it in your window, and it will be wonderful. The light will shine through all of those pretty pictures. So I hope you can do that. Now, this is a little story, and I've done this. Some of you older grandkids will remember when Grandma would cut this orange piece of paper out and tell a story. Well, I'm going to read you the story, and then on the website, I'm going to show you the directions of how to cut the paper, the orange paper. This is called the Tiny Little Witch. Once there was a tiny little witch. She was worried because winter was coming and she had no house to live in. While she was shivering in the cold, the wind blew a piece of orange paper down from the sky. The little witch picked the paper up and turned it this way and that way. She said, "I wonder if I can make a house out of this orange paper." So she folded the paper in half like this, and I'll have a picture to show you how to fold it. Then she took some scissors and cut off the top corners like this. Be sure you don't cut on the bottom corners where the fold is. I did that once and messed it all up. The little witch said, "I need a door that will fit my pointy hat." So she cut a door in her house that looked like this, kind of a triangle. Then she walked into her house, and her hat fit just right. Then she saw that her house was very dark inside. She needed a window. So she cut out a window just like this. This is the hardest part of all because you have to kind of poke the scissors in to cut the window out. Maybe have your mama help you with that. Then her little house was nice and bright inside. The little witch heard someone outside crying, "Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo." She turned to see who it was, and she saw a little ghost. "Why are you crying, little ghost?" asked the witch. The little ghost said, "I'm crying because I'm cold and I have no house to live in." The witch said, "Don't cry, little ghost. You can live with me, and I will make you a little door just your size." So the witch cut a little ghost door just like this. And on the directions, I will show you how to cut the ghost door. Then the little witch and the little ghost went into their little house, and they were cozy and warm all winter. "Let's look inside the little house and see what it's like." Then you open up the house, and you can see what it's like in there. This is a poem called Little Orphaned Annie by James Whitcomb Riley. It's a very old poem and was written many years ago in an area where people talked in a different way. They said their words differently. And you know, an orphan is a person who has no mother or father. They have died. And so the little children were left alone. And in those days, they would give the little child to another family, and they would have them do a lot of the work, and then they would feed them and take care of them, and it was called their board and keep. Well, this little girl was an orphan, and they say orphaned, and this is what happened when she went to live with a family. Little orphaned Annies come to our house to stay, and wash the cups and saucers up, and brush the crumbs away, and shoo the chickens off the porch, and dust the hearth, and sweep, and make the fire, and bake the bread, and earn her board and keep. And all us other children, when the supper things is done, we set around the kitchen fire, and has the mostest fun a-listening to the witch tales that Annie tells about, and the goblins that get you if you don't watch out. Once they was a little boy wouldn't say his prayers, and when he went to bed at night away upstairs, his mammy heard him holler and his daddy heard him bawl, and when they turned the covers down, he wasn't there at all. And they seeked him in the rafter room and cubbyhole and press, and seeked him up the chimbley flue, and everywheres, I guess. But all they ever found was just his pants and roundabout. And the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. And one time a little girl would always laugh and grin and make fun of everyone and all her blood and kin. And once, when there was company and old folks was there, she mocked 'em as she shocked 'em and said she didn't care. And just as she kicked her heels and turned to run and hide, they was two great big black things a-standing by her side, and they snatched her through the ceiling, for she knowed what she's about, and the goblins'll get you if you don't watch out. And little orphaned Annie says when the blaze is blue, and the lamp wick sputters, and the wind goes woo, and you hear the crickets quit, and the moon is gray, and the lightning bugs in dew is all squenched away, you better mind your parents and your teachers fond and dear, and cherish them that loves you, and dry the orphan's tear, and help the poor and needy ones that clusters all about, ere the goblins'll get you if you don't watch out. Well, this has been fun to share these little songs and stories with you about Halloween. Halloween is a wonderful time. I'm also going to send you a picture or two to color. You can find that on our website on Grandma's School about Halloween. So, I want you to have lots and lots of fun this Halloween and learn to sing these songs, because Grandpa and Grandma really love you. Happy Halloween!